I'm Strident, and I'm coming to you from my car as usual. And I want to talk about my favorite figure right now. This figure will probably remain my favorite figure for quite some time. And it's a figure I just picked up. And that is none other than the Figma 2.0 Saber. Or Figma Saber 2.0. I love that freaking figure. It's by far my favorite figure of all the figures that I've picked up in the last, I don't know, couple years. It eclipses a lot of my SH Figure Arts, a lot of my what else? A lot of my my other Figmas, like my Kamen Riders. She doesn't eclipse my Fies collection. She's right up there with Fies. I freaking love this figure. I mean, everything that I want in a figure, all the things that I bitch about that are missing from a lot of figures, they're present here, and they're strong. Oh my God, they're strong. And I got a copy where every single thing works. Even though I had to wait 7 months just about to get mine, it was worth it. The only things that I want from this figure that I didn't get is she doesn't have the effects parts, and she doesn't have the invisible sword. You know what I mean? The hidden or cloaked Excalibur, and I wish she did. But I have Caliburn and Excalibur and Avalon and Caliburn's what you call it, you know, sheath or scabbard, and that makes me happy. Because, I mean, honestly, that's what she uses. So now my next thing is I'm going to go and I'm going to get the Saber from Fate Zero, and then I'm going to get the EX Ride Spridle, I think is what it's called, or Spride. I can't remember. It's her bike. I'm definitely getting that. I'm already going to get Emiya Kitsurugu. I have to get him because I had been looking for him, and not for the reasons you might think. I want to display from time to time Kamen Rider Wing Knight without his mask, and I figure, or without his helmet, and I figure it would be awesome for him to be the stand-in, you know? Just like I got, what's the woman's name? Something Hazuki. God, I can't remember her first name. But she's from a DS game, and Figma made a figure of her, and she's an awesome looking figure, but she resembles my wife a little bit. She has straight hair, but like body type. So, and dark hair, you know? So, and in the anime world, that's pretty much all you need. She just doesn't wear glasses, and my wife wears glasses. But long story short, I'm going to use her. I'm going to put the head of that on Kamen Rider Siren so she can pose next to him. Now, if I could find a black, there's no black people in Figma form. And that pisses me off, because if I could find one, then I could make Wing Knight me, you know? But whatever, I might have to just make one, which won't be hard, you know, a bald-headed black guy with you know, a cool beard. Easy. So, yeah, but man, Figma Saber 2.0 is just an amazing piece of engineering, an amazing figure, amazing sculpt, amazing paint. It's everything that I complain about companies not doing right, done right. Everything. The way she's packaged with plastic in between all the, you know, the major parts where a lot of pressure would be, so that the paint doesn't stick once it's finished being painted and put into the blister. The way that things are sectioned off so that you don't end up with like a lot of issues, you know, with the way the figure is painted. The weapons, man. The weapons are masterfully painted. There's like no slop anywhere on my figure. Anywhere. And it's so hard to believe that, you know, it's a mass, I won't say retail, but it's a mass-produced figure, heavily mass-produced figure. This is their second time around, but like realistically it's more than that, because it's the second time in Figma. But like, you know, a lot of companies have done a version or two of Saber. So it's kind of crazy when you come across a figure like this done absolutely perfectly right. I mean, I guess, you had enough tries, so that helps make things a little bit easier, right? It just feels so good to get a figure that meets, lives up to the hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times they don't live up to the hype, and it's frustrating because you spend a decent amount of money on whatever it is you bought, especially when it's an import figure, and you want more, and you have that remorse that, like, I didn't quite get what I paid for. In this case, I got everything that I was asking for, and that makes me so freaking happy. I feel like it's like winning the lottery almost. Holy crap, my God, she's got on some Chase Me shoes and a body to go with it. Good job, my friend, good job. Oh, it makes me happy when you see kind of regular guys with like super dope girls. You're like, yeah, that means it's possible. But and I have my super dope girl. I just mean it's possible for other guys. It reaffirms that it's possible for regular guys, and it always has been for regular guys to get, to not get the short end of the stick. But anyway, I am just besides myself. I mean, when I got the package, like, I knew that she was going to be here by Friday. I knew it in my heart of hearts. I knew it. I was like, when they sent me the email earlier in the week, I was like, yeah, she'll probably be here by Friday. And so when the mailman rang the doorbell, I knew what it was. And it was like the first time in a long time that I was so excited. I held the freaking package up and was like, ha! Ha ha ha! And my son was cracking up. My little son, the younger one, he was cracking up. Little Strident was just like, my dad is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. I'm crazy. Just, I'm not the bad kind of crazy, though. But, yeah, man, I'm besides myself because it just was one of those things. I knew she was going to be as good as she said, because all the reviews I saw, the issues people had were very minute, and it was like QC stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell it was QC things. You could easily tell it was QC. So, I don't know. I was just amazed, man. I was just amazed. I knew watching those reviews that I wasn't going to have those problems. It was like I willed this into existence. The issues with gapping, I don't have those issues. The issues with, gapping like on her hair and her face, don't have those issues. The issues with, her shoulders and stuff, and the joints not fully doing what they're supposed to do. I didn't have any issues with that stuff, Everything worked the way it's supposed to work. I didn't have the, I forgot what that midsection piece that holds the chest armor on. I didn't have any issues with that being, misaligned so that the front part of her dress wouldn't line up in the right place. Everything lined up where it should. And I was super happy about that, God, she's wearing those pants. I gotta get my wife to wear her super tight pants more often. Anyway, sorry. Me and my random thoughts. But yeah, everything works the way it's supposed to work. It's in the right place. No misaligned paint. Nothing, You'll see it in a review. But man, am I so happy. I'm so freaking happy. It's one of those times where, like I said, I'm done with Marvel Legends. Even though I've bought a couple, I actually have one more Marvel Legends review for you guys. And it's actually not a horrible review. But I picked up 3 of the Allfather wave. I'm not super impressed with everything because, like, some of those figures are just shit. And I refuse to buy them. Like, I want the parts that Sentry has, but I don't want to pay for a Sentry figure. I don't know. I picked up the Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel, as you saw, And then my wife got me Thor. She knows I'm like a diehard Thor fan. So she got me Thor. And, you know, I love the figure, but so much of what those figures are is figures I already have. And that's where I have a problem with Marvel Legends. It's too much of shit we already had and not enough new shit. And they should be trying to give us new stuff instead of always giving us the same old shit over and over and over. And that's my frustration with the line. I want new figures, you know? So, you know, every time I play with a Figma or I buy a Figma, it's a brand new Figma, and that's awesome. Every time I buy a new SH figure art, it's mostly going to be a new figure art. It's not going to be the same old shit. So, for me to be paying half of that price for, you know, a Marvel Legends figure, and then it's not a new sculpt, that's just ridiculous, you know? So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that and how that's gonna work. I just know that I don't want any more Legends, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? If that's how they're gonna be done, I don't want any more. Plain and simple. I don't have the patience for all that, you know, and it feels like you're being robbed in a sense, you know? And too many people have jumped on that bandwagon wholeheartedly without any issues. You know, they're all like, yeah, they're great. I love it. I'm so excited. Oh, and like speaking of Hasbro and the bandwagon, did you see the new G.I. Joe shit? I'm going to give you full coverage of that in a little bit too. It's funny, I feel like Hasbro is like my arch nemesis or something because they're up to their old tricks again. I mean, they didn't really show you anything that would make you into a huge fan again, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole lot of old figures repainted in a kind of a modern paint scheme to try to make them look super nice. So, I don't know, I'm not feeling them. I'm kind of like, what was the deal with them? I can't remember. But yeah, I'm not impressed with what they showed. I mean, they're re-releasing Alpine, which is probably the biggest good thing for Joe collectors. It's pretty much the 25th anniversary Alpine. They're not redoing anything on him. Joints are the same. The sculpt looks the same. They didn't even like give him updated, you know, articulation. I was hoping they would, but they didn't. And you know, it goes back to a conversation that I've had with so many people, but recently I had it with Clarion Prime. A lot of companies, we were specifically talking about the WWE. The writers are aware of the quality of the writing and how it's gone down the shitter, but they realize that they don't have to do more because the fans still eat it up. They still eat it up at the level that they've been eating it up. And they never get tired of it, so why fix something that they've perfected? You know, they've perfected mediocrity, and it works, and it still does the numbers. So if that's the case, they don't feel like they need to do more. They can come to work and underperform and still make the quota. As long as the fans don't ask for more, there's no reason for the companies to do more. And it's a shame, but it's the truth, you know? If you're not going to ask for more, and if you're happy with a mediocre turnout or a mediocre whatever, why would they ever do more? And this is a prime example. All the figures are repaints. Every last one of them. I'll say maybe Gun-Ho. There's a Gun-Ho figure that's like a new tooling. Kind of, some of it is a new tooling. Or at least the head is a new tooling. I can't really tell. I looked at it briefly because nothing grabbed me. They have the fucking audacity to give the Joes a hiss tank, a green hiss tank. And then they gave Cobra a blue snowcat. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is just lame. Like on a different... It's just fucking lame. And lo and behold, there's still people on the various sites online. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, so I guess a lot of people can have mediocre standards and still have their standards met. But a lot of people were like, these are awesome, these are great, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you just want to spend money. You don't give a shit about the quality of what you spend your money on. I mean, thematically, the shit's wrong. It doesn't even work. But somehow, this is what they feel. I don't know. They feel this fits the bill for G.I. Joe. I'm not happy with it. The only thing I like is that they did a tribute figure to a big Joe fan, member of the Joe community, Gary Goggles Head, that he died not too long ago, and they give him a tribute figure. I find it funny though that they'll give him a tribute figure, but not the guy who created G.I. Joe. You know, Don Levine created G.I. Joe. He doesn't get a tribute figure. I mean, maybe he was a horrible person. I don't know, but he doesn't get a tribute figure, and then Gary gets a figure. Whatever. I mean, it is nice to be, you know, acknowledged and remembered. So I give them props for that at least. But it's not, I don't know, it feels like the usual kind of smoke screen. Like, look, we can charge you 3 times as much for this figure because he's a tribute figure. You know, we're gonna, I don't know. It just feels corporate, as so many of the decisions with Hasbro feel. But he's on the Joe Trooper body, which is the best new Joe figure that they've made, and the best thing in the Retaliation line. It's my favorite, and it's my favorite for obvious reasons. It's many people's favorite for a lot of reasons. The arms sit in the right place, the armor doesn't impede movement, the weapons made sense, and there was a place for everything just about. It just was a good, well thought out figure that you could tell the planning was done properly with that one. You could tell that was probably one of the ones that was made to sell the line, and then they fell off with everything else. But oh man, I just was not impressed with anything that they, you know, released. The only reason why I like the Gary the Goggles figure is it's, like I said, Joe Trooper body, but it's in black, and I want a couple of them to make the main villain for the my hardcore shorts, because like I said, it's going to be like a series, and the main villain has ties to the hardcore, so I wanted his suit to reflect that, but then also be different, you know. So I'm kind of happy that that exists. And there were some other characters like Ground Support or something like that that had the Joe Trooper body. And that makes me kind of happy, because that means I get an opportunity to get another Joe Trooper body. And, you know, speaking of other bodies, I'm still waiting on my Marauders Task Force figure. I mean, what the fuck happened with those guys? I mean, we paid for it almost a year ago, if not a whole year ago, and now we're waiting still 7 months into the next year. It was supposed to be here in December. It's March, April. Sorry, I keep saying that. It's April, and we're still waiting. I know it's a Kickstarter, but I mean, it's a company that's been doing stuff for, I mean, it's a good company. Marauders, they're always pretty on point with the things that they, you know, they make. I know that's where I get all my figures weapons from for my Joes. I no longer really, like, usually when I get a Joe, the weapons go in the box unless it's like Pursuit of Cobra level stuff. But I don't know, it's strange to me that they haven't shipped those yet. And if they have, they're slow rolling on the shipping, you know? But that's just me. Everybody else seems to be pretty content with waiting. I mean, for me, the plus side is I have another package now waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, or that I'll be waiting on at some point. I can actually, like, expect that in the mail sometime. I love getting packages. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I go on eBay and Amazon. It's not so much what I get, but the fact that I get stuff. You know what I mean? I love that. It makes me so happy. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. It's quite possible too that it's quite possible that they might show up randomly. I have to ask people because I recently I don't really go on a Joe community page that much anymore. But yeah, Hasbro's sucking it up as usual, and I'm not really gonna. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm kind of frustrated with them because I'm just tired. I'm super tired of them. I'm tired of Hasbro's bullshit. I'm tired of the fan base just failing each other. I'm tired. Like I said, if I see any of the characters that, you know, I want, or any of the parts I want, like everything's going to customs, and that's, I say that lightly. I might just wait until all that shit shows up at Five Below again, and then just hit up Five Below and just go shopping. You know, let a smaller chain make some money off of something, you know, mediocre. Because paying Hasbro, I don't see the need to pay them anymore for their bullshit lack of quality. It's not right. Like, I couldn't believe it. The fucking green his tank for G.I. Joe. Are you fucking kidding me? They're like, it almost made my stomach hurt. It was so stupid. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? A his tank for G.I. Joe? Wow, you couldn't come up with something new? I swear, like, none of the vehicles are new vehicles. The only palette swap that to me works is the Snowcat, because it's an Arctic vehicle. They don't push Arctic vehicles that much. So, you know, repainting one and making it like kind of multi-purpose because it has treads and shit, that's not a horrible idea. But the his tank, it's fucking iconic, and these motherfuckers want to just sell it to you in a different color and make you feel like you're getting something. It's fucking dumb. And it's not even like the newer his tanks, like from the Pursuit of Cobra. It's the fucking classic one. What the fuck? You know, like, when did Hasbro become so lame? Apparently now they're that lame. I'm not happy with it. So you guys will hear about that tonight. I'm gonna get that stuff up there. I'm gonna get this on first, but I'm gonna get that video done tonight or something, or it might be part of the Off the Brain, the next Off Our Brains that we do. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. You've been great. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you on my next video. Peace outside.